dreams. How can I wake and not sleep? 'Cause everybody here seems so nice. Lately I've been looking from the inside. Locked me in and left me out. They fill my head full of fear and doubt. I'm moving fast, but I'm moving down. Yeah, I'm moving down. And when the blue skies fade to gray, so alright, we're just okay. When's the last time I heard you say my life is but a dream? And yes, you do feel we're the same as me, 'cause it's just all too real. And how do you know where the good love is? 'Cause it's so hard to show.
Thank you, Brady Shaw. Another intro from talented cousin Brady Shaw. How are you today? It's Friday, May 22nd, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. And we're doing another show. I showed up again. It's kind of busy, but we got through it okay. Here we are. No plans as usual. Let me fix a couple of things here. Let me put a link down there. I see Janice Murray, my mom, is in the house. Hello, Mother. How are you today? Beautiful day up here. It's kind of gotten windy. It's sunny and windy. On the coast, we get that. That's kind of normal. Hello, Don Hershey Lopes. How's things going in Central California, in Chico, California? Anyhow, I dropped the link. We'll see what's going on today. I definitely would like to do a short day if possible. Well, it is possible. So, yeah, we'll get the party started when someone comes up and says something, or I'll try to answer any questions in the chat. But there is that long delay. That's the awkward 20-second delay. But anyhow, good day up here in Crescent City. Still here. We're on the right side of the ground. So, yes. Hey, Terry, how's Gavin's story doing? Are we working on it? I hope we are. Because this Sunday at 3 o'clock, we're going to debut the Uncle Joe Show. And no, that's not a phony background. That's my green screen came down about 5 minutes before the show started, and I didn't want to go get my little stepping stool to hang it back up. So You get the real deal. It's nothing phony. Nothing phony. Just a messy office right now. Yeah, that would be fine, Donnie. See Maddie, Charlie, and Lainey playing, I don't know, Roblo and freaking out over stupid shit. You bet. Anything is better than this. Anything is better than this. Yeah, Donnie, show us. That would be something different for sure. He's done it. From Terry, he's done it. Good. Very good. Jennifer's in the house. Here we go. Maybe we'll get a little some kind of entertainment.
Oh my God, you have no hair!
Did you see that?
Yeah, it's working! Woo! Oh, darn it.
I'm gonna go film the littles.
Oh my God, Mom, are you?
They get so mad at me when I do that. Uh-oh, we got a Barbie Beach going on out here.
Hey, guys.
What are you guys doing?
Naked.
Not naked. Oh, the Barbie's naked? What? She's skinny dipping? Shit, girl.
Don't go up. No, don't give up. Don't give up.
Oh, whoa. All right, well, that's all I had to say. I'm going to sit here and watch these little rascals swim. Are they playing Roblox? No, they don't have it on the Xbox. They just have it on their iPhones. Is Lainey up here? No, they just play from her house. They just play it from their living rooms. Want to see Chip? She's laying next to me on the lounger. Chippersons. And then here's Molly Mookow right next to me. Hi, Molly Mookow. And then it's very windy, as you can see. Blew my umbrellas over today, both of them. Dented the tiki one. And I guess that's it.
Well, thank you for coming on. That was a nice treat, Donnie. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's all I have to offer, really. I'm just sitting here while Holly paints a bedroom at her house. So I'm just sitting here watching the kids.
Is it a fun day?
Nope.
Who was the little girl with Charlie in the room?
Maddie.
Oh, that's Maddie? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they play Roblox is the name of the game. Roblox.
Explain Roblox to me.
What is it?
Yeah, I don't know what Roblox is.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I could ask Aubrey. Aubrey! Patrick wants to know what Roblox is. Come and tell him he never played it before. He wants to know what it is.
Roblox is a game
What do you do in it?
that sometimes you do obbies that you have to jump over things.
You do obbies? What's an obby?
So an obby is
Like an
Is
obstacle? Don't touch my baby. Like an obstacle course?
so if there's something that you're standing on, then you have to put up.
So you are you saying like you jump from one place to one place?
Yeah. So
And what
No,
do you
there's
try?
some- no,
Do you try to collect things, or is
no,
that?
no. So some hobbies you try to collect coins and
Oh.
then you just get Robux.
And then what do you do with your Robux? What do you spend them on? Can
We
you buy things?
Yeah, we can't buy stuff like
Well, can you like dress your avatar?
Yeah.
Can you like put clothes on it?
yeah, we can buy new clothes and we can buy
Oh.
silver hats.
And so when you go around jumping from thing to thing, what are you doing? Just looking for money?
No.
The attention span of a 6-year-old.
Well, that was very insightful. I got an idea on what's going on, just a little bit.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get off. I hope someone else comes back up.
I hope so too.
Okay.
I really do.
Our COVID cases went up today. Now we have 8 hospitalized and 12 new cases since Monday in Chico. And we had been so low. We were like 2, and then like 5, and then 6 forever, and then 16 forever, and then it just shit hit the fan on Monday. Did Aubrey get my card? Not in the last day, although I haven't checked the mail today. Did you send it today?
I don't know. Are you rocking bifocals?
Me?
Yeah.
Progressives, yeah.
Okay. I know.
And they turn sunglasses outside.
Those are fancy.
Yeah, they are real fancy.
They're fancy AF.
All right, I'm going to go so you don't have to hear this nonsense.
Thank you for coming on, Donnie.
Okay, bye.
Oh, my goodness. Let me drop the link again because I'm already bored with myself. Jennifer's up here. Let's see what Jennifer's got to say today from Indio, California.
Oh, I was hoping I'd get to talk to Donnie. Don, come
Donnie?
back up for a moment.
Donnie?
I was just wondering why the cases in Chico spiked so dramatically. If she had any reason to believe, because she's been tracking it pretty close. Janice, if you know, you come up.
Why have they? Yeah, we got a little spike too, I guess, in Crescent City. I don't know, in the last day or two.
Why do you think that would be, Patrick?
You know, it could be. I don't know. I hope it's not spreading more. It could be. It could be more testing is going on, so they're finding it more.
That's possible.
Yeah. So
do you think it has anything to do with people not wearing masks and kind of ignoring the social distancing?
What were you asking me, Jen?
I was asking why you think the cases in Chico have spiked.
Let me go get in another room where it's not so loud. What were you going to ask me, Jen?
Why the cases in Chico? Why do you think they've spiked? Because they've spiked out here.
Oops, she'll be back.
I know she will. You look good, Patrick.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
We're going to replant our garden and our flowers tomorrow using your soil. I'm so glad I don't have to put it in water for 24, 48 hours. I can just sprinkle it on like you said yesterday.
Yeah, scratch it in a little bit, and it'll be great. You'll like it.
Okay. I'm sure it works great for my herb gardens, right?
Yep. It's a miracle.
Okay.
Hello?
Well, that's why you're saying it. Okay, you're on, Donnie.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What were you going to ask me?
Why the cases you think spiked in Chico? Because we're getting spikes out here that we didn't anticipate either.
What was the question?
Why do you think the cases in Chico has spiked in the last couple of weeks?
Because they opened up businesses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are people wearing masks and doing social distancing when you go out?
No, only at Costco. At Target, they don't demand a mask, and only about 50% of the people are wearing them. And where else did I go? Walmart. I went one time. No one wears a mask in Walmart. Nobody. Target's like 50-50, and Home Depot's like maybe the women wear masks. And
do the employees wear masks?
Yes, the employees all wear masks.
Yes.
Everywhere the employees wear masks. I've been like to a Togo's sandwich shop. I called in an order, picked it up. I was the only one in there. Then the other 2 people that came in after me were not wearing masks. So it's gonna spread. And they opened restaurants in Chico where go in, have drinks. You have to order food. You can't just drink. But no one wears a mask while they eat, obviously.
Well, they can't. Yeah.
So it's up to every individual owner. Like I have a girlfriend from high school who owns a shop downtown, and it's up to the individual businesses whether or not they want to require a mask. And there was just like an article in the local Chico News and Review this morning about like the pushback that people are getting for requiring masks. So she just has like a little bin of disposable masks she hands to people if they want to come in her shop. It's like a retail clothing shop. And she requires it, but not, it's people don't take it seriously.
I know it's frightening. I thought some states have mandatory masks.
I don't know if it's mandatory or not, or if it's
Well,
just
it would be. I guess it would be up to the businesses. Like I hear you can't go in Costco without wearing a mask, and that's
right.
been a
So
really
Costco's
yeah.
definitely on the game on the board. You know, they're doing it right. You know.
So then I guess it's basically up to businesses how they want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think just because businesses are opening up that people are going to go to them, or do you think it's going to be a really low turnout?
Well, it's like 50-50, right? So like you got half the people that watch Fox News, and they don't believe it's a big deal. And then you got the other half of the people who listen to the mainstream media, and they are more cautious and more interested in protecting their brethren, right? So I don't know. I think it's going to spread more because people don't believe it's true. That's all. I don't know what to say about that. Hi, Joe.
Yeah, well, Joe.
Howdy. I think one of the reasons that the numbers are up here is just because they're testing more.
Yeah, but why have 0 hospitalizations on Monday and 5 hospitalizations on Friday? That's not testing. That's hospitalizations.
Oh,
that's a good point, Donnie.
Yeah, that's people being sick.
That was a very.
But I do believe the testing is going to show much more people, which that's what you want testing to do. That's why you're doing the testing. And if cases go up, so be it. But that means be careful because there's more cases in your community. It's more
yeah, but if we didn't test, we could have much lower numbers. So
yeah.
If we didn't test at all, there wouldn't be COVID.
Yeah, no, right?
Exactly.
That testing stuff, or just don't report the numbers. Don't test.
Right.
Don't report. You'll be fine.
Don't report the nursing homes. Don't report the prisons. Don't report the meatpacking places. Problem solved.
Well, the whole thing they're learning now is that the mask is really the important thing, more so than the sanitizing and Clorox and everything, because they're learning, as you've probably heard, it's not spreading on surfaces like they thought it was, but it's definitely air, in the air, and direct person-to-person contact.
Yeah.
No, I heard that too, that the mask are the most important thing you can do to protect yourself and anybody else that's around you. It's just not protecting yourself, it's protecting the person you're walking by or talking to, or because it's in the air. So why not the mask? I just don't get the no mask policy stuff.
Yeah, I'll go in the store and I'll see people I know from way back who I always thought was smart people, and they're not wearing a mask. And I'm thinking, man, you're not.
It's almost like a badge of honor not to wear a mask anymore, but that's all on the right. And I don't get that mentality. You're not protecting your family. You're not protecting yourself. You're not protecting America. So why do you think it's a badge of honor not to wear a mask?
Well, they're protecting their freedom, right? It's like Texas, if they drive their big trucks on dirt roads without a seatbelt. Like, fuck them. If I want to drive my big truck on a dirt road without a seatbelt, then I'm going to do it, right?
That's right.
Right.
Well, the most spikes are in the red states right now, and they're the ones that's not wearing masks. And I say, so be it. Yeah. I'm not going out. If they want to go out and get COVID and die, it's less supporters.
Our county, particularly our county, is a red county. So Butte County is a red county.
Don, didn't they?
That's probably why you're seeing that.
Didn't they have 2 cases directly linked to that church in Palermo?
Yeah,
Open
yeah.
last week?
That was what I read yesterday when there was 5 hospitalizations, but now there's 8 hospitalizations today, and I don't know where the other 3 came up, if it was the church or not. So I guess I got to go to the local news at 5 o'clock to see what they say about that.
Yeah, so when Trump's talking about opening up worship houses,
Like he's going to go.
the numbers don't support that at all. So I'm a little confused on that one.
I'm very confused on that one, Joe, because the numbers don't support it at all. And you can't social distance in a church. I mean, it's almost impossible, especially in a Catholic church where you're taking communion and taking your mask off and singing songs. And I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't know why people just can't have their God in their home, in their own mind. And if they want to speak to God, why do they have to go to a church and involve other people that they could get COVID from?
Do you know?
You shouldn't.
Do you know any good Christians?
Jesus is not being inside of a church.
You know what? We're starting to get into territory that's away from. It's just getting too dangerous for me. There's another place,
Okay.
but yeah, it could get very passionate. So no, it's alarming. Up here, the Home Depot makes you wear a face mask. They give you one if you don't have one. Walmart is the guy at the door. Last time I went, he was really pissed off. I asked him, I said, how many people are in masks? He goes, people don't take it seriously up here. They're coming in with families. He goes, they don't, they have 5 little kids running around with them.
Yeah,
And
that was what I saw too.
he was pretty upset.
Running around with no masks. Yeah.
But once we had our spike from 2 to 16, I think that was kind of a little bit of a gut check or eye opener for some businesses, anyways. It was for me.
What is your county? Are you Humboldt?
We're Del Norte.
Del Norte. Okay, you still haven't had any deaths, just like us, so that's good.
No. I think only something like maybe Shelley could tell us exactly. Like 4 that got it. I think you're testing positive and getting it. Are those different things? Or having symptoms, I guess.
Well, you have it, and if you're asymptomatic, you can still spread it.
So when they give you, yeah, okay, but yeah. So no one's died here. As far as
Same here.
I just heard that it came out with the CDC or one of the scientists that 35% of the spread of this COVID is asymmetric. Well, you don't know you have it. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
That's
35% walking around, and that is scary.
Yeah.
Because you look good, you feel good, you don't think you have it, but 35% of Americans are walking around with it right now.
Maybe.
Not a good number.
Yeah.
So now, okay, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but so what you're saying is that 35% of the Americans that were tested have
that have been tested, but we have not. We have only we've only tested 1-point-something million, right? So we have 360 million in the United States. So that's a tiny fraction of
less than 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
tested.
I'm talking.
I heard 35% that haven't been tested, that they believe in the country there's 35% of people that have the disease and they don't know it and they haven't been tested yet. It's that high.
Well, it seems to me that would be a reflection of the percentage of people who are tested who have it.
Yeah, that's right, Pat.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Is it that high that 35% of the people who are tested?
Yes, that came from Como today.
Wow.
That was from Governor Como today.
Wow.
That's a scary figure. And who knows what's going to happen after this Memorial Weekend, because all the beaches and the churches and everything's going to open up, and they're saying there's going to be a whole nother thing that's going to come out. It's just going to be rampant. And do you think the country is ready to shut down again if that happens? You think the country would shut down again?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of momentum, a lot of fight against that. So,
I guess it's a state by state, county by county call. And if your
That's true.
particular hospitals are overwhelmed, that's all just prevention to keep the hospitals from getting overwhelmed with it. So if your county is overwhelmed, you might shut it down until the beds free back up again, right?
but
Well, I don't think the nurses and doctors can go through another thing that we went through when we first started this.
Well,
I mean, it's horrific. I don't think they could survive it.
I don't think California had what New York and Washington
No,
had.
no, California didn't. But
Our California doctors should be okay.
right.
Our local hospital should be fine. We only have 8 people that have it, and we probably have, I think, 35 beds. I think is what Holly said. 35 ventilators. I could be getting that number wrong though. But
so
Yeah, I'm just worried about the rest of the country and the nurses and doctors that have to go through this again.
yeah,
You know, how can they mentally and physically do it?
So do you think there was a precedent set today in the sense that I think what Donnie said earlier, where they've been leaving it up to the governors and the mayors, et cetera, like kind of keeping it more local. But wasn't there a precedent set today that the president of the United States can override any laws?
yeah, but he can't. He says
He
that.
can't.
But
You're right, Donnie.
He doesn't have that legal authority. I mean, Wisconsin, they went to the Supreme Court of Wisconsin, didn't they, last week? And they overrode it, saying that the governor has the right. I don't know, but something happened where I guess your local government can be overridden by your governor. But the federal government, I don't think the president has the authority.
Well, he's already said let the state. I mean, he's already said let the states handle it. He didn't want to have any involvement. Let the states handle it.
Right. But I don't think he can say, okay, everyone open up or you get arrested if you don't. Like I
No, he can't. I mean, think what he says, and he doesn't even know what he's saying.
Joe, you got a name for the program you're going to do this Sunday?
No. We can call
Why
it.
not?
I'm not good with naming things.
Well, let's see what we can come up with today.
I named my son.
Who's behind the green door?
How about the Uncle Joe show? How about keep it?
Yeah.
For Sunday, we'll call it the Witching Hour. Join us at 3:00
Yeah.
for the Witching
That's a
Hour.
great idea.
Because you know, 3 a.m. is the witching hour. So it could be the
I know.
opposite. What's a good word for the opposite when they go to opposite world? What's that called on Superman? When it's opposite day, it could be the something hour. The witching hour at 3 p.m. is opposite than 3 a.m.
But I got a really good idea for the next Sunday show that's going to be even more fun than this one. I think you guys are going to like it.
What is it?
You going to let the cat out of the bag early, Joe?
No, we'll talk about it Sunday or next week
Okay,
because I'm not 100%
I like that.
sold.
I like that. Give people a reason to tune in, Joe. You're learning, hon. I love
I'm
it.
not 100% sold on the idea. I'm working out what could go wrong in my mind, and
A lot. It'll be
Yeah.
popular.
well, you're into playing it more safe than I am. To me, I'm like, let the cats out of the bag. Politics, religion. Let's go there. Cussing.
Okay.
Let's do a complete open. Let's go all Bill Maher on this whole thing. But I understand Patrick's point.
It takes a strong.
Uncle Joe, you want me to find you a good intro for it?
Oh yeah,
Uncle Joe, you find a good intro for your show, or do you already have one?
you mean like a song or something?
You know how Patrick starts his show as an intro before you get on?
Yeah, he's got the technology.
I could find a
I
video.
don't have any technology.
Any video you want, I can put on there for you. So we'll talk about that,
Yeah.
Joe. If you want to do for an intro, whether music or anything, you can do anything you want.
But I'm
I'll
counting.
kind of search around. Yeah. Maybe you could write a song, Joe.
That is quite the hip fucking ring. isn't it?
Maybe.
So Donnie, did you hear about the blood clot issue with the COVID?
No,
Yes.
I
From
did.
what I understand, that when it goes to the lungs, what's killing people is blood clots, and it'll happen right at the end. And that's why people will think they're feeling better, and that it's pretty much the worst is over, and all of a sudden they develop these blood clots, and it either goes to the lungs or they get an aneurysm, and it kills them. So now they're putting people on blood thinners as soon as they get into the hospital.
Wow. And I also heard that if you get on that ventilator, it's just a death sentence. It's like most
That's true.
people die from the ventilator than don't. So I
Well,
guess
they're finding now they're finding now, Donnie, if they turn them over and put them on their stomach, a lot of times they don't need the ventilator. So they're finding out new stuff every day. I mean, when they're saying they can't count the people who died of COVID, when you look back at AIDS, nobody died of AIDS. It was the complications of AIDS. So I don't think anybody has died on a birth certificate from COVID. It was either pneumonia, blood clotting, lung disease, brain aneurysm. I mean, all these things. So it's really hard to track. When they're saying that the numbers are lower, they're screwing the numbers around with how people died.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, nobody on a death certificate said they died from AIDS. I mean, it was all the complications of it. And it's the same thing with this COVID death.
Crazy. There was a sad story of one of my Facebook friends that she had her husband fell off a ladder like 2 weeks ago and had a really bad accident off a tall ladder, and they live up in Washington. And he had a brain injury. He fucked his eye up. He broke both of his arms, his hip, his spine. Like, the guy is fucked up, and he was in sedation on a ventilator for the last week and just got off it like 3 days ago. And she keeps sending updates, so I know about this, but she's like, what a horrible time to have your family be in the hospital for another reason, not COVID. And you have to like FaceTime him every day, and like he can't see you, you can't touch his hand or whatever. And she's just not even COVID related, and she cannot be there. It's a very, very serious accident, and he was in ICU for a week with iPad conferences to the wife. It was like, whoa, that is some heavy shit, man.
Man, oh man, what's going on out there today?
Nasty
work.
That would suck so bad. And what about like if you have a baby? Like, is your husband allowed in the delivery room? Like, can you like be in the hospital?
No.
With your wife having a baby right now?
No, they're not allowed. There's been all kinds of Facebook postings that the women are by themselves.
Oh my God.
I know. That's their first child too.
That doesn't make sense if, especially if the hospital has no COVID patients and maybe everyone was tested, they could test everybody in the room.
Yeah, but how do you get the results back that fast?
You get the results back in minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It depends on the testing. I see Ray's on there, and his company has the rapid testing right now that gets it back in 5 minutes. Let Ray get up and tell you about that. I'd like to hear about if his company is doing the antibody testing, because what my doctor told me was only 80% accurate.
Ray, yes, they are. We have a friend delivery next week, and husband is allowed. Oh, good. That's good.
Now they are. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, it wasn't last week, but they've changed it. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't understand why in at least big cities, they don't designate some hospitals as COVID-free zones where they just don't allow anybody.
Because they don't know. You could be asymptomatic and testing negative and have it. That's why it's so fucked up.
That's true, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a disease that doesn't play fair.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't play fair.
No, sir. What
Well,
else is going on? What's another good topic today? A little bit brighter of a topic. So we've got the Uncle Joe show at Sunday at 3:00, and we're going to discuss paranormal activities.
I was thinking maybe.
I think
one
Joe,
day
you
I
should
could
write
play-
your own song for your intro and do a funny song about ghosts. That could be a great intro. Everybody would love for you to hear you sing.
Maybe one day I could get.
I'll help you write it, Uncle Joe.
Wrong
Maybe
on
one day I could
three
get a
levels.
voiceover actor up here on the screen. You guys could ask them questions about the cartoons they've been in.
Yeah,
a good one.
What was it?
heck yeah. Yeah, I'd love to hear about that. One of these days, Nick, I'd like to have him tell us some stories about helicopter fires.
I know he won't
Oh
though.
my God.
He will.
He's
He
so-
will.
He will if you sit up here and talk to him on the porch with a beer. Like he'll talk to your head off, but like on the Facebook or whatever, he won't do it.
You know what I'll do? I'll soften them up with some 80s punk trivia, 80s, 90s era.
Oh, yeah,
I'll soften them up a little bit.
yeah.
and then-
You
and
got to
then we-
soften him up with that because he loves talking about music. He hates
How about
talking
every
about
week?
helicopters.
How about every week somebody has their own show? I'll do it this Sunday, and next Sunday, Donnie can do it with Nick or an actor. Jennifer can do one. Pick
Joe?
your subject.
Joe, without letting the cat out of the bag, you got to stay
Yeah.
with the second show because your second show is going to be even bigger than the first. We'll stop it right there. I don't want to give away any more than that. But it'll be a barn burner. Let me.
Oh, I
just-
got it. On the first, I got it, Uncle Joe. On the first day with your psychic show, you bring Dale Barker's spirit back from the dead, and on the second week, you get a Windy Day reunion, and you guys jam out for some Windy Day on the chat.
You're talking crazy talk, woman.
That'd be awesome.
I'm not a channeler. Dale Barker's dead. I
Well,
don't know what else
you
is
might,
wrong.
Are you sure?
You might get Carol to resurrect him. She knows how to talk to the spirits.
Are you sure Dale Barker's dead, Joe?
He's not
I
in
did
his
not see
physical
his dead
body.
body. I did not see his dead body.
Oh,
So you call that what you want.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go off and let somebody else get up. I'm going to go start some din-din.
All right.
Talk to you guys soon.
I have to deal with my umbrellas because the wind is really, really bad right now, and they're about to fly off and break. So I'm going to get off and go deal with them.
Good. You know, Ray, if you're watching, we would love to hear some about some of the new tech. You know, there's some discrepancies on what we're talking about accuracy of tests. Do you have any insight on quickness of tests, where the accuracy levels are, whether it's the antibody tests, how good are they? Is there more than one kind of strain out there that they need to test for? If you have any of that pertinent information, Ray, please give us a scoop. What do you say? What do you say, Ray? Other than that, you working today, Joe? Is your crew working?
No,
No.
we're off till middle of next week.
Okay.
No, I had a big appointment for a big downtown job this morning, a big building, and guy was 15. I waited 15 minutes and I left. He's been calling me all day, but you know, somebody's 15 minutes late, that's a red flag. And they don't call you in advance, tell you they're going to be late. And I learned a long time ago, if they're going to do that to you, it's probably going to happen when you want to get paid. After the job's done, you're going to have to play the same game. So somebody's 15 minutes late with me, I'm not working for them. It's done. It's done before it starts.
No, that's actually that sets a real. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It tells you what they don't prioritize, and that's your time. You know, and that's a big deal in business. I think I'm very sensitive about. I don't want to waste anybody's time waiting for me, and because that's what
I've
you're
never
doing.
been late in 45 years. I've never one time been late for an appointment because I take that shit very serious.
No, I do too. And
It's a bit of a slap in the face.
I've thrown away business, same as you, over things like that. It's like, sorry, I was going to get a corporate lawyer here in town, and lawyers here are short supply, and they're bad. They're really bad. Made an appointment with one guy, and I was going to pay him whatever. They're not cheap, and just to do a consultation, and he was in his office with the door open, and he was just talking of some bullshit call. You could tell he didn't mind everyone overhearing it. And after 20 minutes, I looked at the secretary and I just said, is this normal? She says, I'm afraid it's normal. I just got up and walked out. And then all of a sudden he followed me to the parking lot. And I just said, sorry, man, my time is valuable. But yeah, I'm bad. I'm really bad. I don't wait in many lines. People who know me know that about me is, I just don't like, I'll pass over a lot of things not to stand in line and wait for it. So I'm kind of funny that way.
Well, if there's anything to the wisdom of old age, it's that you learn to spot red flags. Life teaches you that, and it works in relationships and dating and friendships and business, and you just naturally will learn what red flags to look for, and you apply that and trust your instinct. Because I know in my life, when I've seen the red flags and I ignore them, I'm usually pretty mad at myself.
No, you're right. That's what I heard. Whether they're right or wrong, I think we make decisions like that, and probably a lot of times due to experience, we're right. Especially if things bother you, like being late and wasting your time. Yeah, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Or saying they're going to do something and it never gets done. That's going to happen once, and that's it.
Yeah, because you don't want to be chasing them down when it's time to get paid. That's probably what you're going to do.
I see Scott. Speaking of hardworking entrepreneurs,
I think Scott would probably agree with me on that point 100%.
Have you ever counted how many people, offspring of grandpa? I think I'm hearing it, but definitely hearing that. How many of us work for ourselves? A fair amount.
Well, me, you, Kenny, David,
Dennis, Danny. A lot of them. I think you need to cut down your gain on something.
Looks like Maggie and Becky have both started little businesses.
I think there's a lot that we're probably missing, but it seems to be kind of in our blood. I don't know what it is. I didn't do it till real late in life, and
Brady.
I kind of wish I did it earlier because there's much more satisfaction in it. But I probably needed the path that I went on to get where I'm at. So you can't really look back and too much regret. But I love working for myself. I don't get yelled at nearly as much as I used to.
It's a mixed blessing. There's been times I wished I just went to work for PG&E or UPS or something back in the 70s, and I'd have a retirement right now. But I've tried all that. I tried all that when I was younger. It didn't work for me. Punching a clock never did work for me. Or being in one place all day.
That's tough. That's tough stuff. No, I was lucky at that. Being a school teacher for I think it was 11 years, and that believe it or not, that paid off. I'm glad I did that. Union jobs are kind of nice, actually. Union jobs are good. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I'm glad I did what I did.
No, yeah, you could always regret it, but why? That was the path that you went on, and yeah, you didn't. As long as you don't hurt too many people or hurt anybody, I guess you can't complain too much.
I could probably tell a whole show on ideas I've had to start a business, put money and time in it, and it flopped.
No, I actually heard something recently, and I can't emphasize that enough to my students especially is you can't be afraid of failure, because that's that's part of the process, and it happens way more than what you might call success. I heard a talk from a millionaire guy. He said, just think of this. He goes, if I have $20 million to invest, and I invest in 18 companies, if I invest in 18 companies or 20 companies and 18 of them fail or 19 of them fail and only one is successful, you'll look at me as being a success. But I failed, 95% of the time, and that's very true. You failure is part of the game, and you just got to go, and it's okay, and I can almost embrace it sometimes, but no, yeah, being in business, you're going to fail, on all kinds of things, but you got to get up, Danielle, we tend to relate to the males in the family because we all kind of followed a similar template. Believe it or not, a garage, a truck, and a business. We all of us have that. That's what we do, and yeah. So Maggie is another one. Danielle is another one. Danielle is a real great if you ever sit down and talk with Danielle, she's a very bright young lady. She's very impressive.
She took a big risk doing what she did. I admire that.
David doesn't talk about his boy a lot, Brandon, but he's doing big things, with developing a corporation and with huge investors from real important people, and it's the real deal. David just doesn't talk a whole lot about that, but Brandon is a very successful young kid.
He may be the first multimillionaire in the family.
Yeah, for sure. That's like a real possibility in the very near future. So
maybe he is now, for all I know.
Yeah, I don't know, but David, he's not a big talker, but David's actually, I don't know, David owns a bunch of property, stuff he never talks about. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about for him, but he's quite, those boys are go-getters out of that family. That's for sure. One of these days, I keep thinking, one of these days I'm going to get there. One of these days I'm going to be successful.
Well, you are. Your stock is building quietly.
Well, you never know.
Not tapping it, spending it.
Complaining. My mom asked me that. When are you going to be successful?
No, you're doing it the right way.
You're killing me, Mom. You're killing me. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be exciting. You ready for you? So you're going to have to come up for an intro for your show. I can get any video or whatever. That's not an issue. We'll just have to plan that in advance. I don't know if people want to sign up beforehand and want to be on, say I want to come on and talk about my story, or just let it free flow. It'll probably be fine, just free flow. Is what I'm thinking.
I think so. An hour goes by pretty quick as long as people remember 3:00 on Sunday and not pop in here at 4:00 like they used to.
That's another thing. Do you want to set it to an hour? Because an hour goes by very, very fast.
I think that's a perfect time.
Okay, we'll do an hour then. We'll plan on an hour. So we'll advertise it.
Goes a little bit over. Goes a little bit over.
Okay.
Well, that's all I got. So
Well,
let's see.
great question. I got a great question from Lisa Orm. She said, "Do I sell?" Everyone calls it soil, and I don't get too upset about that anymore. I sell nutrients, plant nutrients, Ocean Bounty, and Happy Endings. Which, by the way, the show is brought to you by Green Bicycles. No, thank you, Lisa. If you're interested in any kind of, I will definitely just send it to you. Don't go to Amazon. I can give you a much better deal.
Did you design the label?
No, I did not. Not that one.
Did you have to do a little bit of research as to what had to be on the label?
Well, yeah, actually, that was a whole little education itself. And now I can go in a store and see phony labels in a heartbeat. It's like, once you realize what has to be on a label, what location has to be in, the things that they can say, what you can't say. There's a whole education about, and I had to go through that process of And each state is a little different. California and Washington are the most stringent, but yeah, it's all regulated by California. It's a CDFA, California. Oh my God, drug. I don't know what CTF stands for, but they control labels. But yeah, no, that was an education in itself. On yeah, there's some things, words you can't use. I think I don't know. I don't even know what they are anymore. But and what you also see, which opened my eyes up, and like you could have organic fertilizer, registered organic, but like any other thing, lobbyists have come in and screwed with those regulations. And there's some like phosphoric acid you can use as a preservative. There's a lot of things that they just let slide that are absolutely not organic. But again, big corporations can come in and have their laws changed so they can fit their little, pet project in or whatever. But
Yeah, I worry about that with organic food. I often wonder how organic is it anymore with the way they, especially under when you get a Republican administration that goes real lax on regulation, you got to wonder, am I really eating organic? Or
there's little caveats. In fact, you can go to CDFA, and if you're savvy, and get the rule book. I think it's free. And they'll tell you the rule book of what can go on labels, and I'm sure they have a rule book for organic too. But I'm sure there's some preservatives. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say about organic food. I know about organic fertilizer. There's definitely loopholes. We're just created by special interests. Well, guess who this is? This is a new person on the show.
Hi.
Lisa,
Hey. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Lisa.
I had a question about the nutrients because we have actually Rob's out there right now building an entire fenced garden to keep the deer out of there. But we have such a short time span here in Truckee to grow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard. It's hard finding the right crap to put in the soil. And I know my husband's got his own, what do you call it out there with all the trash and the soil? And he's got a compost thing going on out there. And I don't know. I need something to make them grow fast.
I got it for you.
You got it for me?
Yeah.
What is it called? How do I find it on Amazon?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to do the anti-sales pitch. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay, and actually, anyone who's listening, this is one of the best gardening tips ever, and it's not going to really cost you any money. And I'll try to explain it. The way the organic system works for plants. This is all kind of it's kind of just being researched into, but it's when you have a living soil. There's fungus and bacteria and nematodes that are in the soil that actually they have a symbiotic relationship with the roots, right? And that's what a living organic soil is. And there's actually billions of these things in your soil when it's real nice and healthy. Worms. It's there's an umbrella term called mycorrhizae, and it's like the system that feeds your roots with carbon-based fertilizers. Now, when you use salt-based fertilizers, those are salts and they have a little charge on them when you put them in water. So they're actually pulled into the roots kind of unnaturally. Think of it as like an IV. That's why you can really burn stuff with salts. So I'm taking a long way around, but I'll get to my point here real quick. So the nature's way of carbon is where little plants and animals in the soil break down the carbon nutrients, which are much bigger molecules. They got carbon and nitrogen and magnesium, chlorophyll, and etc. And they break them down and they actually feed the plant. That's what nature does. And there's some mechanisms that are not well understood, but some of them are well understood. So what you want to do is you want to boost that system. So what you do is you make it's called actively aerated compost tea. And that's kind of what my product is, but you can do your own. And what you want to do is get some clean water without chlorine in it. There's ways to remove the chlorine. I could help you with that. Then you want to aerate it. So you want to put like an air stone with an air pump, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so then now you put water, air, and you add some sugar, and that's an incubator. It's real simple. And then what you do is take some compost or some healthy soil and throw it in there and let it set for a couple days. And what you're doing is multiplying all those organisms by the billions. And what you do is you have a living nutrient when you're all done, and you pour that back in the soil, and your plants just go crazy.
So do you do this in like a 5-gallon bucket or?
Yep, 5-gallon bucket up to 35-gallon trash cans. People do them in 10,000-gallon tanks. Now it's not a fringe thing at all on organic farms. All organic farms have big tea brewers because there's nothing better than a living nutrient for your soil. And you don't really, it's almost free. There's
Yeah,
there's a little bit of equipment that you want to buy. You want to get a good air pump. And the air stones, they're consumable. You can only use them 2 or 3 times, but that's the only real expense. But what you'll have is an organic nutrient that is insanely powerful. And you can add other things in there. A lot of people make comfrey or seaweed, or there's a lot of nutrients you can add to make it more nutrient rich. But basically, you're just making an incubator for the mycorrhizae system, which boosts it. Does that make sense?
Right. No, that does make sense. And I kind of remember my dad doing something along those lines. I think you taught him how to do that. And now we're just kind of getting into the whole gardening thing and the soil. And I think the hardest thing to go out there and spend money on is dirt when I live in Tahoe. It's all around me, dirt and rocks, and we're buying it by the yard. And
yeah, you really don't have to. You really don't have to do that.
Yeah, no, I know. My whole backyard is dirt. But so I feel like this is a great alternative.
Yeah, after actually dead soil after years of being like pesticide, with a few cycles of compost tea, it becomes living again. So it's actually like a remediation thing for your soil.
Mm-hmm.
And your plants just absolutely just love it.
So does sugar work as good as molasses?
Well, molasses is sugar. Any kind of starch, you can put potatoes or any kind of starch, but it just takes longer to break down starch, and you need energy.
And then you need the air pump, don't you?
You need, because living, basically it's animals or bacteria from one of those kingdoms, and they need oxygen, and they need oxygen. Every place in nature needs a place to live, something to eat, and something to breathe. So if you provide all those things, you can like throw in straw. That actually helps with the tea because it gives the microbeces a place to colonize on, because they like to. Everything does like a place to live, or something to grab onto. So yeah, the oxygen, because they're animals, they need to breathe, and so you want it all bubbling all the time. And after two days, 24 hours, 48 hours, you'll see because animals breathe out CO2, correct? So what you'll see is pure evidence of this happening, because you'll get a big old, like a beer foam that starts foaming at the top of your thing. And what that is all those little animals, it's their breath as they're breathing. So it's actually something you can see, and it's really actually, it's amazing, and you'll be so amazed how well they work.
No, yeah, that is cool. So the air stone, are you using like a fish tank air stone?
That's the very minimum. What you want, they're usually like in a cylinder. If you go to a grocery store, they always have maybe 2 inches in diameter, maybe 4 inches, 5 inches long. Mm-hmm. And then you want a pump that's bigger than an aquarium pump. And it's usually about $50-$60 for one of those pumps. It's not bad, mm-hmm. but once you have that set up, if you're a gardener, and this works for anything, house plants, grass, golf courses and stuff do this all the time now. It's real. It's real how it works.
Interesting.
You got a new tattoo?
No, are you talking about the one on my hand?
What's that?
No, it's kind of hard to. It looks sideways because my arm tilts. No, I got this one in Nepal when I went to Nepal last year, and then this one in Indonesia when I took Jules to Bali.
It must have hurt like hell. That's a lot of.
Yeah, no, I mean, it hurt. I have some that hurt more, but no, I think after a while it just gets so numb that you don't feel anything.
Where's the most painful place to get a tattoo?
I don't know if you want to ask that, Dad.
What's that?
I think right on my
Armpit or
Good case.
yeah, like right in here, like by my serratus, my side, upper side, stomach area. It's
Mm.
the skin is so sensitive.
right?
My first tattoo, I only got a couple, was on my rib cage, and the guy was saying, "Are you sure?" And that was,
Yeah.
I almost got up about 5 times and just said, "Fuck you, I'm leaving." It was hurt so bad. It was like
Yeah.
it was hell.
I would think on your shin bone would be real painful.
Yeah, I think
On your
anything on your
lower leg.
bone. I think anything on your bone is painful.
Well, yeah, because it's right there.
Not everything, but
Yeah, you want to go for fatty areas with a lot of muscle, I guess, and fat.
Never had a desire, never will.
I know. That's okay.
it was the thing to do. I became a hipster. No face tattoos, though, right? Or do we agree on that one?
Yeah, no, I'm good on the face tattoos. That's a little trashy. I think that's just screaming like Oakland or
I
yeah.
think in 10 years they're going to be mainstream, but I hope not. I hope
I
not.
don't know. I feel like we're kind of getting into a new generation where tattoos aren't really as popular as they were in my generation. I think with us, when I'm in a nursing home, all these young girls taking care of us are going to be like, why do all these old women have tattoos on their back? So
Yeah, none of the kids don't want to do what their parents were doing. That's why everybody had short hair in the late 70s, all the young people, because they didn't want to have long hair like those 60 hippies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all gonna have like our eyebrows tattooed on our face and tattoos on our lower backs and sleeves, and then they're all gonna think that we're crazy.
Well, we are.
And God knows what they'll be doing.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be crazy. Well, what's good? What else is going on, Lisa? Anything special?
No, not much is going on with me. It's kind of, I saw Donnie was out there sitting by the pool, and I'm kind of jealous because it's cold and windy up here. And yeah, I'm just doing this whole COVID sheltering in place thing, getting kind of annoyed with it because we live in a tourist town.
I thought you were still working.
I am working, and we're doing the sheltering at work. I work at I'm running a hotel, but it's easy to shelter because I have my own office and I'm doing all the accounting there. But it's just getting annoying seeing all these people coming into town from the Bay Area, knowing that they shouldn't be here because it's so little and we don't have the capacity for them right now. That's really all that's going on with me. You
look more like Becky as you get older.
I know. You know what's weird is I see pictures
It's
of
like
her
her
on
face is
Facebook.
thinner and it's starting to look a little like Becky.
I know, but she has that pretty olive skin, and I don't have that.
You're definitely a Shaw girl. There's no doubt about that.
I know I have the bone structure.
Are you pretty tall?
I think I'm taller than Becky.
Oh yeah, you are about 2 inches
5'7".
Okay.
Yeah, 5'7", 5'8". Yeah, I'm built like a Shaw, I think. But yeah, I see pictures of Becky, and I can look at her and I see exactly how we look alike. I can like put my finger over our jaw or something, and it looks like the same person. And then I noticed Jules has Brady's smile. They smile exactly the same. It's weird. Genetics are fun.
Jules, you have a kid?
I have Juliana and then Ethan. Ethan is 8 and Jules is 16.
16 years old?
16. Actually, her and Josh are 5 or 6 months apart, I think.
What What did you say Jill's GPA was in high school?
She is sitting at a 4.5.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Mhm.
What?
4.5.
What?
She wants to be she wants to do something with science. So she wants to do environmental work, working with animals. So she's thinking oceanography.
Is she there? I'd like to
No,
see her.
I'm
Just a
gonna go
shot.
pick her up soon. She's in SAC with her dad.
Oh,
I gotta leave here soon.
gonna be another Brandon Dietz, another little genius in our family.
I feel so
Yeah.
out of the loop. There's so many people I don't even know about. I remember seeing you as a real little girl, maybe 8 or 9 years old. I can't remember that. That'd be the last time I saw you. So,
Yeah.
Cray, congratulations on her, by the way.
Thank you.
what
I
year-
don't know how I did it.
What year is she in?
She is a junior right now. She's gonna be turning 17 in November, and then she'll graduate 6 months early in January
That's awesome.
next year.
She taking hard math classes?
She's doing all AP and honors classes,
Ooh.
and then she's taking her classes at the college.
So she just
also.
does that on her own. You don't have to push her for that. She just does it.
No, I don't get it. I try to pick. I'm the worst mom. I try to pick her up and take her shopping, like ditch school for a day once or twice every couple months, and she'll come out and she'll be like, "No, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I have school," and I can't get her to ditch school. I can't get her to come out of her room unless her homework's done. She's mothering herself. I don't have to do much.
The teachers always had a saying, and I think there's some truth to it, that 10% of the kids, like in high school, you can't screw them up. That's what we just say. You know, there's 10% of the kids you can't screw them up. Don't feel bad that you're not. You won't mess them up. They're going to do it on their own.
Yeah, she's
Sounds like one of those.
determined, and it's crazy. I don't know how I got so lucky. I think she was just born with it. It's just her soul, and she's that old soul, and she knows what she wants, and she's ready for it, and she's gonna go at it in this lifetime. So I got lucky. And then we've got Ethan, my little monkey. He's 8, and I don't know if it's just the difference between the boy and the girl, or if it's just he is who he is and she is who she is. I don't. Complete opposites. Couldn't get 2 different kids if I tried.
Wow. It's not my area of expertise, that's for sure.
Yeah,
You see that a lot in families, so.
it's weird. It's really weird. But
So be sure to come on the show Sunday at 3 and help me out. We're going to be talking about spirits, phenomena, synchronicities. Anybody that has a strange experience.
I got my pendulum over here that you gave me. I don't even know. I have it on my light, which is kind of cool. I never mess with that. But that's kind of cool. Have you done any pendulum stuff lately?
I use mine all the time. I love it.
I'm
love
really
it.
bad at it. What is that? A metal one? Is that your metal one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Works great.
Is Brady still doing that?
Nah, he's got one, but he doesn't think about it. He's the one that taught me all about it.
Is that because he's dating that massage therapist? And because I'm a massage therapist, so I know a lot of massage therapists, and I know that they're all in touch with their spiritual side, I guess you would say. Did she get him into that? Because
No, they just met last fall. Brady was teaching me about this about a year ago.
yeah, because he was doing Reiki before that.
He met her at a Reiki class in Grass Valley, and she's very spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
He tells me all the time about things they talk about. So that's why they get along. They kind of elevate each other and stimulate each other, and can't ask for more than that in a relationship.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Lucky.
And she owns her own business too, right?
Her business has been killed by the
virus, yeah.
So
Yeah.
she hasn't been doing too much.
Killing more than just people.
So she's probably going to end up getting into something else. She comes over here and works with Brady and helps him paint. He's been teaching her how to paint.
Really?
She's really good. I said, well, tell her to go get her license and start a business in Auburn.
Yeah, Byron should come up here and start doing business because it's all staining, and staining is a lot of work, and that's good money. And you've got the 3rd, 4th, 5th homeowners up here who are willing to pay whatever it takes.
I have blown my brains out trying to get Byron to go get his contractor's license again, and he's happy to.
He's too laid back.
$5 an hour working for another company, and for the life of me, I don't understand it.
It's less.
He could do so much better on his own and have a lot more time.
Yeah, is he
About
still
12
working up?
hours a day.
What?
With his driving time, he has like 12-hour days.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Is he still up here doing that job in Truckee?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I gotta get a hold of him. Let's see if I can see him do lunch or something.
Well, we didn't mean to burn up your show, Patrick. I'm sure we've lost anybody watching.
No, actually, no. This is new and fresh, and we got a little. We classed up to join a little bit, Uncle Joe. So I'm always willing to do that. So thank you, Lisa, for coming on. Thank you for watching. I've noticed that you made a few comments over the show, and thank you for watching.
It's fun. I like watching and catching up. It's kind of cool to see where I come from and to learn the stories. It's kind of interesting when I hear you guys talk about family that I don't know, and I don't know. I remember bits and pieces of family from when I was little, growing up visiting Chico. So it's cool to catch up.
No, it is a big family, that's for sure. And there's
yeah.
Well, come on more often, because the more people that come on, the more variety to the show, and when you're watching and you're asking questions, Pat, I don't see them or anybody else watching. We can't see anything you say unless Pat puts it up there, and he can only put up so many things. So if you just come on a couple times a week, every day, whatever.
At least I'm in the process of I'm making your dad a star. I'm going to make him a star in the YouTube world, in the podcast world. So you might have to help him out a little bit.
I can't wait to see this.
So I'm going to try this once, and I'm going to quit.
No, you're not.
I should bring Ethan down because he's got his age, all the kids his age are watching YouTube videos, and he's got this whole line down, like and subscribe, and I swear everything he does, it's like he's putting together a YouTube video. He walks around and records, so maybe YouTube could do something together.
He can help your dad get subscribers on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, just like and subscribe. That's all you have to do.
There's guerrilla marketing we can do to get you a following. Is what we're going to work on.
I can't wait.
No,
Don't forget about Sunday at 3:00.
And bring Ethan on. I'd like to meet Ethan.
Yeah. Oh God, he'd love being in front of the camera.
That's what we need. That's what we're looking for. So maybe tomorrow. I'll probably be doing this tomorrow, and then the only show I'm going to do on Sunday is the Uncle Joe show. Which I like that. There's a nice little ring to that. What do you think, Lisa? The Uncle Joe? Well, he's not your uncle, so you might not appreciate that.
I mean, he can call himself whatever he wants. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna.
Well, he can veto that for sure. But
I'm
Nope.
probably uncle to 3/4 of the people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you have a lot of nieces and nephews. I've noticed that too.
More than I know, and many I've never met.
Me also. I didn't know about your children. But
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop.
Imagine if Dad, your parents were still alive. Christmas would be hell for them, trying to get together Christmas presents and
Oh, they would be happy. I think
Yeah, my mom would she'd have 150 presents.
yes, she would.
That one for every generation, every kid.
I'd be okay with just cookies. I remember her cookies. Oh, and Donnie, if you're listening, if you would message me the name, their Roblox names, so then Ethan could add them to Roblox and play with them. And I don't know how they do it, but they have like the group Roblox or Minecraft or some shit. I don't know.
No, that's the second time I heard about Roblox today.
Yeah, it's big for the 8-year-old crowd.
It sounds like it's an exciting game.
Yeah, this whole virus thing, being out of school, all the kids are playing Roblox and spending a lot of time on Minecraft. And
So it's an interactive game.
yeah, they can go into different worlds and play with each other. And
I've been doing that for years. What's new about that? But that's another
what's that?
story. Nothing.
Oh.
I was just talking, just rambling on.
All right. Well, I'll see you on Sunday, I guess.
All right. Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, that was a nice little treat.
Yeah, we're getting more people all the time. You are.
No, well, you are. They're coming on for you, mister. I see Becky. We just missed Becky was on there. She said you look amazing. Miss you. Would you like to come on real quick?
She looks like you, Becky.
Yeah, they
Yeah, Becky, come on. People can see the similarity.
Let's see. I'll paste the link. That's all I can do. I can't bribe. I can't cajole. What's the word? But other than that, yeah, we did another good show today. It went by pretty quick. See how fast an hour and 20 minutes went? Boom, boom, just like that. We've never had Brady on here either. What's going on with that, Joe?
I don't know. He's probably just getting up.
Really?
No, I'm trying to get him to come on. And he always goes, I don't care. I can't get him to go play music out anywhere. He's got his life. He's got his business and his girlfriend, and I think he's still very creative, but he's not interested in playing out anymore. He doesn't seem to crave that audience thing at all.
No, that's probably a healthy thing. It's hard to, it's hard to understand that, because I think that's, it's kind of, that's the go-to is it would be so cool to be famous. I think that's kind of a go-to, but I think there's some deep insight that, that you don't, maybe he has that base covered where, he doesn't need adoration from masses, which I wish I had once in a while, which will never happen. Darn it. But no, he's very talented, and there is a star kind of quality to the kid. I saw Jennifer posting she was trying to get him on America's Got Talent or one of those shows, but he might not even be interested in doing that. I don't know.
God, I've told him he should go try out for American Idol. I mean, there's a lot of great talent and probably people better than him, but I think he's good enough to get picked to go to Hollywood, and just having that experience would be great. But he keeps putting it off. Pretty soon he'll be too old for it.
There's a narrow window for most of the stardom out there, and it's passed me by, but that's okay. Well, what do you say?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go too.
Thanks for having me on today, and remind everybody about Sunday.
I'm going to start advertising at the CB. I'm gonna start advertising it this evening, Sunday. Let's get this straight. From 3 to 4 o'clock, 3 to 4 p.m.
Share your stories.
And share your. How about the topic will be share paranormal stories? Is that reasonable?
Paranormal, synchronicity, spirits, oddities, anything out of the normal that you've experienced in your life. We want to hear about it.
Yes, that's going to be the theme of the show. I think it's going to be a popular topic, and I'm excited about producing it instead of being the star. I'll be the producer. I'm good with that.
You love that tag, don't you?
I do.
Produce
And director. I like the director tag. That's okay. That's another story. All right, let's wrap this up. Uncle Joe, you take care. Everybody get a good night's sleep. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening and do whatever you do under the lockdown. Peace. Good night, and I'll probably be back tomorrow. Why not? You know what I'm saying?